Hello, I am Raimo Matvere and I'm head of partnerships at the e-Residency team. And today we are going to talk about the Estonian startup ecosystem, how to get the most out of it and how to fit in. And for that we have a special guest today here, Kaidi Ruusalepp. She's CEO of Funderbeam. She's leading Estonian Founders Society and she's a member of Estonian Presidential Digital Advisory Council. The first question for you is, how did you end up in that world, in that startup world, and what has kept you there for so long time?
In the Estonian startup world, yes, because when I founded Funderbeam, I founded it out of actually my position being the CEO of Nasdaq Estonia. So coming from the huge corporation and the stock exchange and the financial, maybe traditional and mainstream financial industry, I all of a sudden became a founder and actually one of the first female founders in Estonia. But what's brought me here is that Estonia has always been a, first of all, super tech country. We use tech to solve the complex problems and we use it pretty smartly. Secondly, Estonia is so small so that whatever we do, we want to do it so that it can scale. And I was also the first IT lawyer in Estonia and working for the government with digital signatures and e-identity and these kind of things, which we know we can scale globally, which is actually one of the basis for e-Residency, right? The e-identity and the ID card. And it's easy to do business in Estonia. So that was the reason why I thought that, okay, let's leave the corporation very high level job and become a founder. And obviously you regret to become a founder every single day, right? Because what you do, you always solve a problem. But putting the joke aside, it has been so rewarding journey. It's been interesting. The society is very supportive. The Founders Society is very supportive, and you really solve a global huge problems out of this tiny little country called Estonia.
Awesome. One of your roles is to be a president of Founders Society. What's this society's role in Estonian startup ecosystem?
Yeah, the Estonian Founders Society, or the old name is Startup Leaders Club, is to we have two roles. One is, first of all, we serve our network and we serve our community and the community of Estonian startup founders. And it goes first to give back to the younger founders, like grown-up founders or the unicorn founders. They help the younger founders. If somebody needs help with the recruiting, we share the stories. If somebody has a VC visiting the country, we invite fellow founders to join. We ask complex questions from each other, so we help each other, so we really help each other. We are there, and that's why we also think that Estonia is unique, because we don't know any other country where there's so well-functioning startup founders community really helping each other. But the second role, what we've taken, is also this kind of building the ecosystem, talking to the politicians. Like I advise the president of the country on the startup and tech matters. We are partners for the government, we are partners for the ministries, we are partners for the lawmakers to make Estonia, because our aim is to be the best startup community in the whole world, so we want to make it. And the good thing again in Estonia is that we do have a dialogue with the government leaders, and the dialogue doesn't mean the monologue that we go and talk to them, but they really listen and they interpret or they introduce the changes. So whoever wants to come and set up a company in Estonia and become a founder, all the foreign founders are very welcome also in Estonia, then you have to know that the process is smooth, but it's smooth because Estonian founders have been working with the government.
Mm-hmm. You already mentioned a couple of things here, like government's role and Founders Society role. How Estonian startup ecosystem is doing right now, taking into account everything that's going on in the world, and how we are doing right now, and what's ahead in the next years?
Okay. If we look at the numbers, then 2022 was really like a blast, because Estonian startups raised in total $1.3 billion, 1.3 billion, which is like a huge number, considering that we have 1.3 million people living in this country. Secondly, which is even more important, is that the Estonian startups introduced 2.1 billion euros revenues last year. So like the growth compared to 2021 was more than 40%. So that's like a good thing. Last year was a year of resilience, and we survived. Not only we survived, but some of the companies this year are growing even more than last year. We were able to introduce the changes. We were able to really mitigate the risks, because Estonia is so small, so not every single team is sitting in Estonia, but our teams are international teams. Our markets are international, because we're not like a UK or US, where you really can build something for the domestic use. So it's kind of built in Estonian startup DNA that we are global, and we have to diversify risk by having teams around the world. So we're doing good.
Good. Can you give us some hints about the future, as much as it's possible? Like, what's the vision for the ecosystem for the next years? Like, are there any specific topics or focus points right now that the organizations you are tied to are dealing with?
Yeah, so together with Estonian Information Technology Group, or Estonian mainstream technology companies and the startup companies, we want to be 1/3 of Estonian GDP. By 2035, and that actually doesn't mean that we will introduce so many more companies and so many more talents in this country, but we want to go into deep tech, and we want to go into the science tech, because when we have the IP in this country, when we have the patents, and we really own the know-how, and we own the machines, and we own the solutions and inventions, then the value out of this investments is doubled or even tripled. So that's actually our goal, is that Estonia is not only the startup nation, but actually we are leading the scientific technology, and we are leading the deep tech technology in Europe. And the other thing what we also want to take the leadership position is in female founders, because last year European startup funding report, which was introduced by Atomico, said that only 1% in 2022 funding went into female founders, and that's like a crazy situation. So that's again what we want to do, and introduce the leading by example, and taking the leadership by Estonian female founders, so that Estonia would be more diverse and more like open-minded, also for female as a gender to be a founder. So I know what it means to be a foreign founder in this global ecosystem. So what I would suggest anybody who wants to come to Estonia is find yourself, somebody who is from Estonian founders community, as a friend, as a fellow to talk to, and never hesitate to reach out, never hesitate to build the connections, and be active, be really active, because Estonian Founders Society and Estonian Founders community are actually open-minded, and we are welcoming. You just come and talk to us, because then we know you are here and we're going to take care of you.
In addition to finding the other founders,
fellow founders,
who to turn to or with whom to become friends, like do you have any other like suggestions for the newcomer? What you keep in mind when trying to enter to this ecosystem?
To the ecosystem. Look around to all the incubators, accelerators, co-working spaces, Startup Estonia, which is very active. You can go to Garage 48, weekend hackathons, come to Latitude 59 or Startup Day, the huge tech conferences and parties here. There's so much going on, so just Google and see and just attend the events, and you will be welcome, and just start talking to the people.
But other, like any, let's say, limitations or some things to be cautious of when joining the Estonian ecosystem or coming here?
Talent.
Like what to keep in mind in that sense?
Yes, we are short of talent, because we do have 1.2 million people, and we reached to the point where Estonian startups recruit from each other, because we're just so limited with the talent. So whenever you come, you will find a very smart people here. And what is really good thing about Estonia is, when you think about that, Estonia is by far number one country in number of startups per capita in Europe and number of unicorns per capita, meaning Estonia has introduced a totally new global layer of talents in how to run the tech companies, how to do the marketing, how to do the sales, how to build the tech or everything. So you can recruit leaders from here, but also don't hesitate to bring your team with you. It's okay to live here. It has super clean air. It has nice buildings. It has ugly and cold winter, but after the winter comes the spring, and it's so much more cooler here during the summer, when we have 24, but Spain has 40.
You talk to the founders, also to foreign founders every day, and could you remind or imagine any foreign founders that you know, maybe?
Yes.
That has either started a company here in remotely or has moved here and has very successfully integrated him or herself and the team to the ecosystem. Like, what did they do well, or why did they do it right?
There's even one company. We have 10 unicorns in Estonia, and one of them is Glia, and Glia is fully founded by the foreign founders. But now Carlos is here in Estonia, and the tech team is here in Estonia, and he really likes it, because he says it's simple to do the business, it's easy to do the business. Because everything is online in Estonia, you as a founder really don't spend time on all this kind of administration of the company. You really focus on the business. Estonian talents and Estonian people are super pragmatic. If they say that solve this problem, it's going to take 2 days, then it's going to take 2 days. It's not 2 weeks or 2 years, it's 2 days. So you get the response, and you really get a pragmatic solution to the complex problems.
Okay, so to wrap it up, like, what would be your one main suggestion for a potential foreign founder? What he or she should do or think or follow or whatever to take the maximum out of Estonian startup ecosystem and the people here?
Is it you are described in the situation when somebody is already in Estonia or thinking of coming to Estonia?
Thinking of coming to Estonia.
Come.
Just as a visitor first, at least.
At least, yes. Come as a visitor. Come for a week. Reach out to Estonian Founders Society, reach out to Lift 99, reach out to other accelerators, Startup Wise Guys, Estonian Business Angels network, start networking. You get yourself a picture of what is happening in this country, and then you can already make a decision to come.
Thank you, Kaidi.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching us. I hope you got some ideas how to get started in Estonian startup ecosystem and where to look to get more information. If you are more interested in business opportunities in Estonia, we have a special Q&A session coming up on March 22nd. That is focusing on funding and investing opportunities in Estonia, and also we are giving stage to some of the accelerators and incubators. So visit e-Residency website and sign up for the webinar.